Once again, I wish to welcome all of you to our leaders' annual general meeting of the year 2022. And as I had said, when I was introducing our Eucharistic celebration, we are gathered for the 30th assembly of the annual general meeting, whereby we are also celebrating the 39 years of the existence of our self-help program. We have been introduced to our theme of today, which is the discernment towards transformative growth. And that is the theme that will take us through our AGM today. And what we are invited to do is to participate as much as we can, because it is our day. I wish to welcome and introduce our guests today, and I would want to start with our chief guest, His Lordship, Bishop David Kamau. Let us appreciate him, not only for having been able to be with us today, but for those who know history, he has really been journeying with us, and he always creates time to be with us during our AGMs. I would also want to welcome and introduce our advisory board, the self-help program. Can we all stand and wave to the leaders? These are the leaders that you have given us from your souls. They are the leaders that we work together to make sure that all the issues pertaining your groups are taken care of. Thank you very much. I also want to introduce in a special way the CEO, Caritas Microfinance Bank, Mr. David Mokalo. Wave to the leaders. Let us appreciate him and his team. Actually, he is not alone, who are accompanying our CEO. Yes, I can see Dennis and Josh. And there are others who are behind that side. I have seen Sister Pamba and the others. Thank you very much for also creating time to be with us today. I want to introduce and appreciate Caritas Nairobi staff members who are also here with us today. The big team from the server program, those who are behind there, can we wave to the leaders? Thank you very much for organizing this day and for making it a success. I would also want to introduce our auditor. I don't know whether he has arrived. Yes, thank you very much. From Kegodo and the company, Karibu Sana. They have also done a good job for years auditing our finances and our program. I would also want to welcome in a special way all our invited guests, and if they are friends who are among us. I've seen the Purchase insurance company. The CEO. The MD from Purchase. Where is he? Huh? Oh, thank you very much. For the first time, we are having you gracing our occasion. This is the team that has been taking care of our insurance covers for medical, our assets, the vehicles, and all that. You are most welcome. And for any other person who is among us for the first time, feel welcome and celebrate with us. God is good and all the time.
Makofi kwa sister. That is quite fast, and that is how we want to move today. From there, we are now going to hear the minutes of our last meeting, be read by Mr. Karaja. I know you are somewhere comfortably seated in readiness to do that. I had indicated you note anything if there is any matters arising, you just note, and if you want to communicate anything, please communicate it digitally. Issues will be responded. Thank you.
Your Lordship, Bishop David Kamau, Caritas Nairobi Director, Sister Mary Mbashi, Caritas Microfinance CEO and officials, our Caritas Nairobi Self-Help Advisory Board Committee, our self-help group official. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'll be reading the minutes for the 29th Leaders Annual General Meeting held on 19th May 2021 at Holy Family Basilica, Catholic Church Hall. Members present: His Eminence John Cardinal Njue, Archbishop Emeritus, His Lordship Bishop Kamau, Auxiliary Bishop, Sister Mary Mbashi, Director Caritas Nairobi, Mr. David Mukaru, CEO, Caritas Microfinance Bank, 2 Caritas Microfinance Bank board members, Caritas Nairobi Self-Help Program Advisory Board Committee, Self-Help Group officials, Caritas Nairobi members of staff, Mr. Maura from Kigundo and Associates. Agenda as listed below. Our preliminaries. The meeting started at 11:20 a.m. with a welcome note from Sister Mary Mbashi, who introduced the year's theme as Developing Resilience for Continued Economic Empowerment. She then introduced the guests of the day, His Eminence John Cardinal Njue, who was to join the meeting later. The Apostolic Administrator, His Lordship Bishop David Kamau, Mr. David Mukaru, CEO, Caritas Microfinance Bank, Mr. Mwaura from Kigundo and Associates, Advisory Board members, Archdiocese of Nairobi Secretariat staff members, and all the leaders who were present. Reading and confirmation of previous meeting minutes. Mr. Bernard Ngoshi of Caritas Nairobi read the minutes of the previous leaders' annual general meeting. They were proposed by Mr. John Matiru Kimunya from Limuru Zone and seconded by Ms. Sarah Endabo from Eastern Zone as a true record of the previous meeting. Matters arising. The matters arising from the minutes were deliberated on together with other emerging issues during the open forum. Statistical information. Mr. Moses Nyandusi of Caritas Nairobi presented the statistical information. In his presentation, Moses noted the following. There was an increment of the number of self-help groups from 182 to 194 self-help groups. This was attributed to the registration of 2 new self-help groups, that is St. Bernadette Catholic Church Ngoiwa Self-Help Group in Thika Zone and Holy Spirit Catholic Church Makutano in Limuru Zone. 20,403 members joined the program during the year under review. The active members increased as dormant members remained the same. There was an increase of disbursed loans from 1.5 billion to 2.5 billion, which showed that many members took up loans to cushion themselves from the effects of COVID-19. Members' contribution changed minimally compared to the previous period. This was majorly because of the shocks brought about by the unprecedented COVID-19 pandemic. Minimal change in investment was noted as members borrowed heavily, leaving a small portfolio for investments. Member saving distribution in zones were 23% in Eastern Zone, 20% in Thika Zone, 13% in Ruaraka Zone, 9% in Western Zone, 9% in Lower Kiambu, 8% in Mangu Zone, 7% in Limuru Zone, and 6% in Nairobi Central Zone. The other zone had below 2% of the program savings. The statistical information was proposed by Ms. Assumpta from Matia Mulumba Self-Help Group and seconded by Mr. Boniface from St. Vincent Kamulu Self-Help Group. The director's speech. The director began by acknowledging the presence of His Eminence John Cardinal Jue with a humble appreciation for gracing the occasion. She recognized the day as a day to connect with all stakeholders and to evaluate the progress in realization of the vision of economic empowerment for our people. She communicated and expounded on the year's theme, developing resilience for continued economic empowerment. The director emphasized on the need to embrace the process of adapting well to the difficult environment brought about by COVID-19 and explained that the theme was based on the year that was under review, 2020, and the year we had just started, 2021. She quoted 2 Corinthians 4, 7-19 about challenges and explained that God always grants us strength to endure, and this itself has given us hope as a program that we can stand the test of time. Sister Mary highlighted that Caritas Nairobi Self-Help Program serves members within Nairobi and Kiambu counties, the Archdiocese of Nairobi, but has extended its support to the Diocese of Kakamega and Nyeri, and gone beyond Kenya to the Diocese of Tomburo Yambio in southern Sudan. She appreciated the good reputation of the program and promised that together we shall continue with the 5 key strategic objectives that are in our 2019-2023 strategic plan, which is to increase membership by 15,000 members annually, 10% annual enhancement in saving mobilization and loan uptake, continual entrepreneurial capacity building to all leaders and members, giving back to the society through corporate social investment, 100% compliance to policies, legal and self-regulatory framework. She said that this was to be achieved progressively with the same passion and purpose that the servant of God, Maurice Michael Cardinal Otunga, championed when he established the self-help group 38 years ago, and adding our own contribution at our own capacity. To attain all this, the director reported that the program has improved its approach in audit, policy operationalization, capacity building, in order to continue meeting the ever-growing demands from the self-help groups and to ensure quality of our service delivery. Audit. The director reported that the coordinating office was able to complete 163 annual and 41 continuous audit respectively in the year 2020. Over 70 self-help groups had already been audited as part of the current period's audit, displayed the accounts, and virtual AGMs done where applicable. She communicated that the continuous audit 2021 will commence in the 3rd quarter. Capacity building. Sister Mary Mbashi reported that trainings were much affected by the pandemic due to the containment measures on physical meetings. The program had, however, embraced virtual trainings to ensure continuity in building the body of knowledge and information sharing. Other achievements under capacity building included development of strategic plans for the 4 self-help groups. ICT. On ICT, the director reported on 3 main issues, that is, membership cards, Lux 360 upgrade, and automation. Membership cards printing were in progress, and the cost per shall be Kenya shillings 120, where the self-help groups shall sell the same to their members at a cost not exceeding 150 shillings. System upgrade was successfully done on 2nd April 2022, phase 1, with 106 groups using in the system. Sister Mary reported that phase 2 and 3 were expected to commence soon. She encouraged all self-help groups to embrace it, as it is easy to serve the groups if all were in the same system. Working in COVID-19 era. The director noted that 2020 was not an easy year, neither is 2021. She mentioned that even the legume attendance had been restricted. Most people had lost businesses, jobs, and in worst cases, lives. She encouraged the leaders to continue serving the members with resilience. She commended the following to the leaders: ensure safety for all of us, extend a helping hand to the community through corporate social investment with consideration to only areas where no budget allocation have been provided by donors and or by the government agencies. Business continuity. Members were urged to ensure they have elaborate business continuity plans to safeguard against any unprecedented shocks of the markets. Presentation of the audit accounts. The audited financial statements were presented by CPA James Maora from Kigundu Associates, who noted the following. Total program income grew from 56 million to 68 million despite the COVID-19 pandemic challenges. Investment income constituted the major component of the income, and it was 45% of the total revenue. The total expenditure grew marginally from 55 million to 56 million, hence getting a surplus of Kenya shilling 11.75 million. All the expenses were done apart from salaries and wages that went up from 36 million to 38 million. A strategic revenue reserve was created to sustain the program, which was not there in the previous year. The main asset of the program was long-term and short-term investment, which had increased from 4.7 million to 5.5 million. He stated that the assets were internally financed by savings and were not at no risk. CPA Moora finalized by stating that the financial statement gave a true and fair view of what was happening in Caritas Nairobi self-help groups for the period under review. The report was proposed by David Kiarie from St. Joseph Dagoretti Market and seconded by John Kensley Osombi, the late, from St. Francis Catholic Church self-help group Kasarani. Presentation of the year 2021 budget. CPA Ann Gatere, the investment manager Caritas Nairobi, presented the budget. The organization proposed to get an income of 79.5 million, being a growth of 5% from the previous year, and expenses of 71.1 million. The budget was proposed by Tiberius Omboto from St. Jude Donholm and seconded by Mise Gatti from St. Joseph Jericho. Speeches by Caritas Microfinance Bank CEO Mr. David Mukaru. He began by introducing the staff members he had come with. As at the close of the year 2020, the bank was able to mobilize deposits of 2 billion, loan outstanding of 1.4 billion, and had an asset base of 2.3 billion. He also said that for the first time they broke even after making losses for 5 years and made a profit of 5 million. He highlighted the provisions of 2021-2025 strategic plan, which included growing deposits to 15 billion, growing the loan book to 11 billion, growing profits before tax to 1.5 billion, growing the asset base to Kenya shillings 20 billion, and growing the number of accounts to 1.1 billion by the year 2025. He appealed for more support from the leaders in terms of more capital injection by requesting for Kenya shillings 800 million. He also informed the leaders that a team comprising of Caritas Nairobi and Caritas Microfinance Bank was formed to come up with customized products for the members of the self-help program. To be able to achieve the above projection, he appealed to the following: self-help group members to enhance the relation with the bank. All self-help groups should make Microfinance Bank their primary bank. The self-help group should support all payments from customers to be made through Caritas Microfinance Bank outlets. All leaders to support Microfinance Bank agency to grow in parishes. Leaders to nominate youths who are members of the self-help groups to be employed as sales agents by the bank. All leaders should encourage the sales agents to have accounts with the bank. Self-help group members to consume the customized products from the bank. Speech by His Lordship Bishop David Kamau. His Lordship started his speech by recounting on the challenges we had faced since reporting of the first case of COVID-19 pandemic in Kenya. He called upon everyone to put God first and our hands together to support one another during this pandemic period. He asked members to think of the future by not giving up on losing hope. To be able to survive during the pandemic, His Lordship urged members to accept the current reality, understand the difficulties COVID-19 had brought into our lives, families, and communities. Develop positive response on how to resolve some of the difficulties and execute the developed strategies. He called on leaders of the self-help group to keep the vision of the program alive and not to commercialize its operation, comply with the program policies in order to safeguard the members' resources, avoid mixing our services with secular institution even if they are making profit, since we are a Christian institution and have a duty to protect our church against avoidable risk. Be keen on observing the policies while recruiting staff members to avoid introducing corrupt individuals to manage the operations of the group at the parish level. His Lordship concluded his speech by urging all leaders to lead by example while extending help to people who are in need, especially during COVID-19 pandemic. Awards. After rigorous processing assessment in a number of parameters, different self-help groups were awarded in different categories as follows. Self-help Group Credit Management Award. Urban category, Holy Cross Catholic Church Dandora Self-help Group. Semi-urban category, Corpus Christ Catholic Church Nderu Self-help Group. Mobilization and Recruitment Award went to Holy Cross Catholic Church Dandora Self-help Group. Self-help Group Management of the Award. Self-help Group Management of the Year Award went to Patrick Moshero from Holy Cross Catholic Church Dandora Self-help Group, and Jacqueline Chepkoech Kerich, St. Francis Catholic Church St. Francis Catholic Church Kasarani Self-help Group. Most improved Self-help Group went to St. Francis of Assisi Catholic Church Ruiro Self-help Group. Mentorship Award went to St. Francis Catholic Church Kasarani Self-help Group. Best Managed Zone Award went to Nairobi Central Zone. Zonal Rep and Zone Secretary of the Year went to James McKenna Wanyangi, Upper Kiambu Zone. Most Dynamic Self-help Group Award went to St. Paul Chapel Catholic Church Self-help Group, Nairobi Central. Best Self-help Group in HR Management went to St. Francis of Assisi Catholic Church Ruiro Self-help Group in Thika Zone. Sister Mary Mbashi, Mr. Mary Mbashi, Director, Caritas Nairobi, presented all above awards. Best Overall Self-help Group Award went to Holy Cross Catholic Church Dandora Self-help Group. This award was presented by His Eminence John Cardinal Ndue, Archdiocese Emeritus of Caritas Nairobi. Award for Retiring Zone Representatives went to Mr. Lawrence Muga, Thika Zone, Mr. Martin Daidi, Kagwe Zone, Mr. Michael Ndonye, Western Zone. The award was presented by His Eminence John Cardinal Ndue, Archbishop Emeritus of Nairobi. Caritas Microfinance Bank Awards. Agent Transactions went to St. Francis of Assisi Catholic Church Ruiro Self-help Group. Assumption of Mary Catholic Church Umoja Self-help Group. St. Francis Catholic Church Kasarani Self-help Group. Divine Word Catholic Church Kayole Self-help Group, and Kairi Catholic Church Self-help Group. Number of accounts opened went to Gesherani Catholic Church Self-help Group, Kairi Catholic Church Self-help Group, Kagambwa Catholic Church Self-help Group. M-Pesa Paybill Deposits, St. Francis of Assisi Catholic Church Ruiro Self-help Group, St. Francis Catholic Church Kasarani Self-help Group, Assumption of Mary Catholic Church Umoja Self-help Group. Most supportive in terms of marketing, Gesharani Catholic Church Self-help Group. The awards were presented by Graham Waliaula, Board Member, Caritas Microfinance Bank. Appreciation to His Eminence Cardinal John Jue, the Archbishop Emeritus of Nairobi. The token of appreciation was presented to him by the Self-help Program Advisory Board members. Open forum session. Mr. Matthew Otieno from St. Vincent Paloti Catholic Church, the Gureti Corner Self-help Group in Western Zone, observed that members present as presented in the report are a consolidated figure despite them being registered individually. Mr. Joseph Kiari from Dumbere's Self-help Group asked if the ICT department had sufficient staff since the previous year there was a shortage. Mr. Onsombi, the late, queried matters arising from Minute 8 about reviving Kiriko Self-help Group as per the directive of His eminence. Mr. Ngogi, Zone Representative Mangu Zone, responded that plans to educate members did not materialize since the lockdown had been frustrating their efforts, but he was positive that the dream will be materialized by the next leaders' annual general meeting. Mr. Michia from St. Joseph Mukasa Thika suggested that the award system by Caritas Nairobi and Bank should blend both new and old groups. Mr. Edwin Sabuni from St. Paul Chapel Celebrate Group requested that the leaders' annual general meeting documents be shared before the Lagum. He also requested for a briefing of the Caritas Nairobi strategic plan and inclusion of withdrawal in the Statistical Information section. There was a concern on the increment in the motor vehicle expenses in the year 2020. Anne Gatere explained that it was due to COVID-19 as most staff were using Caritas Nairobi vehicles which are paid for. Mr. Ndambari from St. Joseph Kerwa queried the administration cost budget as it was way too high compared to the year 2020. This was responded by Eric, who said that it was due to the planned internal organization, evaluation and program assessment. Mr. Muhungura from St. Charles Luanga Kamiridu raised a concern on the decreasing number of Catholics and asked if a percentage of leadership could be left for non-Catholics. The response was given that the guideline is clear about this, and hence the management need to be to do more marketing within the Catholic fraternity. Any other business? There was no any other business. Adjournment. Mr. Graham Waleula, the Ruaraka Zone representative, thanked all members who attended both virtually and physically for their immense contribution to the growth of the program. The meeting ended at 2:55 p.m. with a word of prayer from Mr. Modesta Karori, the Deputy Director, Caritas Nairobi. And we'd like to apologize to the members. The minutes which have been circulated online were not signed, but the original minutes have been signed. Thank you.
Tumpigie makofi. Thank you very much, Wana Karaja. It's quite eloquent and audible. I believe and hope that we have all understood. So for the minutes to be ratified and to become ours, we need to adopt by a proposal in the second that it is a true record of the proceedings of our last meeting. For those who are present, Kaidre, I can see already a hand there, or somebody wanted to propose that we adopt the minutes. And I would call for gender balance. That's a lady. May get a man who will second as we listen to the proposal. Yes, there is another one here. Somebody with the microphone. As we hear the proposal, then we hear the seconder.
I propose the minutes. Pamela Nyangoro from Holy Mary Mother of God. Githurai.
Thank you very much. Proposed.
I'm Joseph Njau, Vice Chairperson, Senematia Mulumba Self-Help Group.
Okay, thank you very much. Having adopted the minutes, ordinarily we normally go to matters arising, but I indicated in the morning that if we were to go page by page looking at them, we will spend a whole hour. So, normally what the Secretariat has done is looking at all those minutes, looking at action points, respond to them in the director's speech. So we would hold until the director's speech is done, and if you feel there's an issue that is not responded to, you are free now to raise it, if the link that you have been given at that during the Q&A, it will be responded during question and answers time. So kindly let's adhere to that in the interest of observing time and moving on with our program. At this juncture, therefore, I call upon Moses Nyakweba to present the statistical information.
Your Lordship, Bishop David Kamau, Sister Mary, Director Caritas Nairobi, readers from our self-help groups, and the staff to the Secretariat. Tumsifu Yesu Kristo. I'm here to present the statistical information. These are numbers. I want to give some more explanation to those numbers so that you can be able to drive the information carried within the numbers that you have. That you have the soft copy, I know, within your phones. You can go to page 13 where we have the numbers. First, we have number of groups within the Archdiocese of Nairobi, which has increased to 196. This is due to we were given from the minutes you had that we had to start a group within where we started the channel, that is Kericho Parish, and we are happy to report that they started at least 3 groups, that is at the parish level and the outstation within Kericho. So that's why the number has moved from 194 groups to 196. But within the 3 groups, again, we reported there is one group which was wound up within Thika Zone, that is St. James Juja Farm. It was wound up because of the circumstances that wouldn't allow it to continue operating. Therefore, and during the year, we were able to activate 4 groups. That means we moved from 22 dormant groups to 18. At least we managed to activate 4 groups. And this is our responsibility, and I believe we are going to work tirelessly with the advisory board members to ensure the remaining 18 groups are active and in operation. Coming to the membership, yes, the number is still changing, but you can see that this time there was a negative change, especially to active members. It means most of our members, maybe due to the challenges that is facing us, they moved to dormant. They were not active during the year. That's why the dormant has increased from 22,000 to 30,000, meaning most member became dormant, never saved within the period of the year 2021. And in total, we have 150 members, 150,000 members up to date, both active and dormant members. From our strategic plan as Caritas Nairobi, we were targeting 15,000 members annually. That means we are targeting within a period of 5 years, we are targeting 75,000 members. But from the indication here, the change, we were at 120 in 2019. And up to date, we are at 150. That means we have 30,000 members vis-a-vis the 15,000 members we were supposed to recruit every year. But if you see the new members, we are doing well in recruiting the members. Where maybe we are failing a bit is the retention. It means members are exiting because the net change we see it is 10,000 per year. That is, we have moved from 120 to 150. But if you check on the column for the new members, in 2019 we recruited 19,000 members. In 2020, 20,000 members. In the year 2021, we recruited 20,303. It means we are doing well in recruiting members, but we need to do something correctively as leaders and the coordinating team to ensure that we retain these members. They should not be exiting from the program. Despite the exit, if you see about the savings, we are doing quite well, because within our strategic plan, we said we need to increase the savings by 50%. And if you see, we moved from 6 billion to 7 billion to 8 billion. At least we are doing well in saving. This means that the membership within the program, there are those who have trusted have big trust with the program, and they are doing their savings, and they are taking it as their main agent of saving. So that is the indication that we are doing well, especially when it comes to savings. You can see the contribution during the year. It has been at least 1 billion every year. Members can be able to save at least 1 billion every year, progress-free. When it comes to loans, again, we are not doing that well, you see, because if you compare saving versus the loan uptake, it's not even 50%. We are less than 50%, and we hope, it was our hope when we were coming up with a strategic plan, we ensure that we increase the loan uptake at least by 50%. But that is not the case. It means most of the savings members give to us, it's normally directed to the investment office, for being that was not our primary task or primary role to ensure we save and we invest in the investment, but we wanted members to take loans. So it's upon us as the team of readers and the Caritas Nairobi coordinating team to ensure that we achieve this maybe by the end of the strategic plan. That is 2023. We can see again a non-performing loan. It was a tough year that has seen almost there is a change from the previous year, whereby members are not servicing their loans as per the expectation. That's why the non-performing has increased from 184 million to 268 million. It's an indication that there is some challenges that are facing our members, and we hope we can be able to overcome them and at least reduce the non-performing part. When it comes to the loans issued during the year, yes, we see we maintain the figure that we issued. That is 2.5 billion was issued in 2020, comparing to the 2021, again it's 2.5 billion. It means that we issued almost the same, but in membership, those who received it, previous year, that is 2020, the number was 43,000 compared to 33,000 of the year 2021. It's an indication that we need to reach more members, because the membership we have is 150,000, but we see the loan uptake, we have a few members who are willing to take up the loans. The investment grew from 4.6 billion to 5.3. This is basically what I explained, that members are trusting the process and they are bringing in more money. So we have no alternative but to ensure that it earns something, it gives a return at the end of the period. So that's why we advise groups that any excess that they have not issued to the members, they should bring forth for us to invest through the Caritas Nairobi office, investment office. And the Caritas Microfinance Bank, yes, there was an appeal that we need to increase our stake at the Caritas Microfinance Bank, and we see there is a change from 279 million to 305 million. That means the groups put more shares to the bank of the bank. There are some graphs that will be able to give you the clear picture on what is happening within our program, starting with the membership. You see that especially the active members, we almost remained constant in the previous year, but now it has started declining, meaning that more members are becoming dormant than those who are joining. So this will give you a clear picture. Those graphs are explaining basically what are presented. You will be able to note. Maybe important to note, I draw your attention to page 17, whereby we did some the pie charts, yes. The previous year, we have never heard about the comparison between the membership, those who are Catholic and non-Catholic, but from the information we gathered from our groups, this is the indication. At least you can be able to see from all our zones, the information we got concerning the Catholics and non-Catholics. That means now Catholics are embracing more the program than non-Catholics, unlike previously where more non-Catholics were embracing the program than the Catholics, where we are given a platform to operate. And that is the end of those figures. You can interrogate more and get more information from those figures as you go through the report. Thank you.
Makofi kwa Moses. Thank you. I know it is not easy to understand figures, but I think he has explained in a manner that at least it is elaborate. That is for our consumption, and need to look at the trajectory which we are following, and as far as our growth is concerned. It is important for us to consume them so that even as we market and whatever we are doing in our groups, we be cognizant of the flow and the activities in our groups. So after noting that statistical information, we'll move on with the program. And now, according to our program, we have Sister Bashi giving us the director's speech, after which we will move on with the program. Karibu, sister.
Your Lordship, Bishop David Kamau, our chief guest today, our server program advisory board members, our CEO, Caritas Microfinance Bank. Caritas Microfinance Bank staff members and Caritas Nairobi staff members who are present today, leaders from all our self-help groups, invited guests, and our friends. God is good and all the time. I would want to start my speech by appreciating all of you for taking time to attend our server program leaders annual general meeting today. Both we who are here physically and those who are following us through the virtual platform. It gives me pleasure to welcome all of you to our 30th Leaders Annual General Meeting of our self-help program and to our 39th year of existence, like we mentioned earlier, where we are reflecting on our today's theme, discernment towards transformative growth. I want to say this to our local ordinary office, currently led by His Grace Archbishop Philip Anyoro, and being assisted by His Lordship David Kamau, that we always appreciate the support the local ordinary office has given to us over the years, and that is why we are here today and celebrating the great growth of our program. From the statistical information we have received from Moses, we heard that probably we are not doing so well. Looking at the performance of the year 2021, and this is because of the tough times or the period we have been going through, and we are yet still there due to COVID-19 pandemic. But we thank God that He has seen us through until where we are, although with some of us being affected directly. From our groups, last year we lost some leaders. We also lost some members. There are those whom we have been affected from our families. We have lost our beloved ones, and also some of our friends have gone because of this pandemic. And to be united together as a fraternity, I just want to invite all of us, we keep quiet for a moment to honor them and to appreciate whom they were when they were living with us. Eternal rest grant unto them, O Lord, and that upon them, may they rest in peace. Now, in fulfillment of our commitment as faithful leaders and stewards, we have been able to keep our program going, and for that reason, we are able now to celebrate our Lagum on time. We know we ought to have this celebration next week on Saturday, but because of the needs of our leaders, that is why it was brought forward with 1 week. But we say we are on time, and we appreciate that you are able also to reorganize yourselves to be able to attend. As usual, anytime that we have our AGM, we always reflect together about the performance of the previous year. And this is what I would want to invite you to do with me. And I want to start by saying something about this year's theme, the discernment towards transformative growth. And I want to say this, that over the years, we have grown our ability to make intelligent and wise judgments in what is the best for the stability and continuity of our self-help program. That is why we have started thinking about reorientation of our core business in self-help program according to the reality we are operating today. And when we talk about our core business in self-help program, that is simple savings and giving the credit. So we are aiming at good results and achievements through this reorientation, which will bring positive impact to the lives of the current and the future groups members we are serving. And this theme, I want you to note that there are two important aspects that we are working on. The first one is the change of the name of our trust. We are renaming our Archdiocese of Nairobi Social Promotion Registered Trust to Archdiocese of Nairobi Caritas Registered Trust. Why? Because we need to get a proper identity on what we are doing, and also to enable our office, the technical office, to do more than what we are doing, and especially in terms of mobilization of the resources that we need. We are also talking about the development of a self-regulatory framework that has already started. And if you can agree with me, you have already met on the ground our consultancy firm or the team from FinTech Frontiers, who are helping us to come up with this framework. FinTech Frontiers have a wealth of experience and expertise drawn from our regulators, the Central Bank of Kenya. Some of them have background experience. Others, they have also been in touch with what is happening in the second world, and also from informal self-regulated institutions. We are not the first ones who are going that way. And internationally, this consultancy firm has a good name, and we don't have any doubt they will also deliver a good framework to us, and the framework will support us professionally trying to take care of our program. The first phase they took us through was the reviewing of our self-help program guidelines and policies. We also met them during our first round solo meetings, and we are almost now getting to the phase 3 of the same development, whereby they will be involving us in research, compilation of the reports they are getting from us, and also the training and on how we will implement the results of this framework. Why did we decide to do it? Because we wanted to achieve a number of objectives, but among them, there are 3 main ones. First of all, we wanted to align the management of our server program to acceptable standards and minimize exposure to risk. We also wanted to institute an internal regulatory body or framework which will continuously ensure or help us ensure compliance with agreed standards. We are not working in isolation. The third objective, we wanted to facilitate the process of continuous research and innovation to retain the relevance of our program to its members. As our program grows, the needs also keeps on expanding. And if we are not well prepared, we might not be able to cope up with that growth and the expansion. So after achieving these objectives, then we will have a clear enforceable standards for existing policies. Now at the end, we keep on inviting you to journey with us, as also we journey with you, reviewing our policies so that we keep ourselves relevant. We will also have an internal framework that will now help us oversee enforcement of standards, because we don't want to be left behind. And finally, we will have clear standards for upscaling our products and services. So far, until where we are, we have very limited room for expanding our product. But going forward, I'm sure we'll be able to do that. Now, noting our performance on expansion, we had ourselves a program, zones realignment. And I want to say that we had communicated to you during the zonal meetings that the current zones will be restructured so that they can align with the Archdiocese of Nairobi deaneries for easier service delivery. And for that reason, the advisory board has prepared a schedule that will ensure during the second round zone meetings for this year, the new zones will start operating and the new zone representatives will be endorsed. There are those changes that we will see before the end of the year. And as a reminder, the new zones will be Central Zone, Eastern Zone, Outer Zone, Ruaraka Zone, we will have Western Zone, the Muru Zone, Kikuyu Zone, Githunguri Zone, Kiambu Zone, Thika Zone, Gatondo Zone, and Mangu Zone. 12 zones, according to the 12 deaneries that we have within the Archdiocese of Nairobi. God is good, and all the time. Yeah. Now, I would want to note something on performance from our program of the year 2021, looking at the deliverables and the way forward. It has already been mentioned when looking at the statistics performance that we are happy to note that we have new groups that have been established in the year 2021. Actually, we have 8 of them. We have St. Benedict Catholic Church, Goigwa Self-Help Group from Thika Zone. We have Our Lady of the Rosary Catholic Church, Ridgeway Self-Help Group, that is from Central Zone. We have Holy Spirit Catholic Church, Makutano Self-Help Group, that is from Kikuyu Zone. Our Lady of Fatima Catholic Church, Keriko Self-Help Group, Mangu Zone. St. Joseph Catholic Church, Igamba Self-Help Group from Mangu Zone. All Saints Catholic Church, Ngedo Self-Help Group from Mangu Zone. And we have St. Mary Catholic Church, Gorogoro Self-Help Group from Mangu Zone. And Our Lady of Assumption Catholic Church, Kaba Self-Help Group from Githunguri Zone. I would want us to appreciate the zonal rep from Mangu Zone, Mr. Joseph Gogi. Stand. We don't take it for granted that His Eminence Cardinal Jue requested during our lagum in the year 2020 that we should go back to where the program started. And actually, in front of all the leaders who were present that day, you were requested to go back to the same community and start a group there. You have not started one. You have started how many? 4. Let us appreciate him well. Why His Eminence requested for that is to help us get a meaning that any time that we meet here to celebrate, we are celebrating also having the people from the ground. And I don't know whether those leaders are with us. If you are from those groups, stand up, please. We appreciate you. People from Keriko, thank you very much. I'm telling you for years, we didn't know what to keep on telling the other groups. If, where, and the community, where the concept was conceived, they are not participating. Now, the house is full. So thank you very much, Joseph. We are humbled. We continue also encouraging the other